Welcome to Studio Scrapping with Amy and to National Paper Crafting Month, January 2017. Today's project is this adorable welcome home wreath, which is the kit for this month. Now, you can get this kit for $18.95 or you can get it for free by placing a $60 order on my website, hosting a qualifying party, or signing up to become a consultant this month. Now, don't fret if you are watching this video after January 2017, because I'm going to share with you a way that you can recreate this project even if you missed out on the kit. So let's get started. If you want to make the kit as shown here, all you need is the kit and liquid glass. The kit comes with everything that you need to make this basic project. And let's look at it. So here are some directions. It shows you how to fold the flowers and the succulents and how to lay out your wreath. It comes with this really awesome base. Like, this base is so sturdy. Look at how thick that is. And you only use the outside, so you have that whole middle section to create another project. Each of the sheets in the kit comes with die cuts and these gold foil stickers. I didn't actually use my gold foil stickers. I decided to bling it out a little more with glitter paper and bling gems. All of these papers are double-sided. They're die cut. Some of the die cuts have patterns, as you can see when I zoom in a little bit on these leaves. They've got some stripes. You also have different shades for your succulents to give it a little bit more texture and 3D look, even if you decide not to ink the edges, like I'll show you here in a moment. If you are watching this after January 2017, all of these images come from Flower Market, so the Flower Market Cricut collection. So you really could recreate this if you wanted to. Another great thing is if something goes wrong and you ruin something, you could always cut out another flower or succulent on the Cricut. I really like the gold sprigs that you have, and then this banner. This is such a fun project. I'm really glad that Close to My Heart is providing this for us this month, because look at it, it's so cute. All right, so let's talk about what you need to do, especially for those of you who are coming over to my house on the 28th to put this project together. You're going to want to order it early, and you are going to want to take everything apart and put it in little baggies, because this is probably the most time-consuming part right here, especially if you're like me and you're like super slow and careful. And look, even though I'm super slow and careful, I still managed to get a little bit of extra paper torn off there. All right. So anyone who knows me knows that I'm super particular about these things. Those little nubbies drive me crazy. So I'm breaking out the old finishing files. Shop your stash. If you have finishing files, get them. And even if you don't, ask your spouse, because you may be surprised. They might have some in the garage. So on every single die cut, I go through and I pull off all of the nubbies. Most of you are not going to want to do that, because that takes a ridiculous amount of time. But I tell you, I personally would not be happy with my project. Some people are fine. They don't care. I care. So that is why I go through and file off all my nubbies. I know it's some kind of sickness, but it's all right. It looks good in the end, right? Okay, so the next step is to get my sponge daubers. I use Glacier, Juniper, Topiary, Fern, New England Ivy, and Whisper inks. On this particular succulent, I'm using Topiary. And you'll notice that I have the bulk sponge daubers. I have one per color, and I highly recommend that. It just makes your life so much easier to simply have one. I went ahead and I sponged the entire succulent, even though I know that middle section isn't going to be seen because it's going to be covered up by many layers. I went ahead and covered it anyway. You notice though that I am not being remotely careful at all, because you don't have to be. I also did not do the back side. Nobody's going to see it. Doesn't matter. I just did the front side. Okay, so once everything was cut out, I put them in their own baggies simply because, again, like I said, if you're going to come over or you're going to take this to a friend's house and work on it, you definitely want to make sure that everything is put in its own separate bags so that you don't get mixed up when you start putting it together. The other thing is I cut them all out. I did this in stages. I cut them out one night. I then inked or did all of my nubby removal watching TV one night. I did all my inking watching TV one night. So it's, I think, a good idea to kind of work in stages unless you have a bulk amount of time. But it's probably going to take you, if you do the kit just like it's written, or the directions, it's only going to take you maybe a couple hours, but if you bling it up the way I did, it's definitely going to take you a lot longer than that. Okay, so again, the nubby removal, I should have sped this up, but let's talk about these rolled flowers. Now, I am not a rolled flower expert. I highly recommend maybe watching another video. I'm pretty sure Close to My Heart put out an awesome rolled flower video. One of the things that I did, I don't need to remove the nubbies on the inside because that's going to be glued down anyway. But I did take my bone folder and just started curling the edges, and I liked how it looked before I started actually rolling the flower. Once I started rolling the flower, I don't know how much that actually helped. But one of the other things that I did was after I sort of rolled those down to get the leaves or the petals so that they would fall down, I started rolling to the inside of the flower the way that I'm actually going to roll it with my quilling tool. And that just helps kind of break down the fibers of the paper to make this part of rolling with the quilling tool much easier. So I would recommend that. You can roll it as tight as you want or as loose as you want. If you decide you want to roll it kind of loose, you don't even really need the quilling tool once it gets started. You can just take it out and start rolling it with your hands. And then once it all gets rolled up, you add glue to the base and then you glue it together and you get some roses that look like that on the right. So here's my first succulent. You can see that I rolled all the edges on the succulent, and then I actually just took where it's pointy, I took my fingernail and just simply creased it to kind of give it that pointy look that succulents have. I know that some of the other consultants that I've seen have inked their edges with red because that's how succulents are in nature. I preferred simply to ink them with some kind of coordinating colors just to give it a little bit of dimension. I also rolled the blue ones down a little bit, so the bottom leaves are rolled down, the top ones are rolled up. And I just sort of liked that it gave it a little bit of a different look for those blue succulents. My flowers, like I said, I'm not the flower rolling expert. Like they're okay, but I definitely have seen better, and you can see I tore it. Yeah, I need more practice with my flower rolling. It's not really my thing, but I'll keep working on it, right? That's why the beauty of this kind of project. It makes me step outside my comfort zone. So again, I talked about the pattern on those leaves a little bit earlier. Some of these twigs that I added ink to, I just set it down on this all-purpose mat that I have and just went for it with my ink. I wasn't like super careful at all because again, all of those twigs are going to be tucked behind all of the various succulents. So it's not really important that it's perfect inking. Okay, but here's a fun thing that I did. So again, if you've got the Flower Market collection, I thought these were a little too plain, so I went ahead and inked up the background stamp that comes with that Flower Market Cricut collection, just to give it a little bit more pattern and texture. So that was kind of fun. You notice those are little. I got tired. I did not erase my nubbies. I figured they would just be stuck behind anyway, so I wasn't going to worry about it too bad. Okay, shop your stash. If you've got these retired bling gems in gold assortment, look at how awesome that looks. Like the kit is cute with the gold. I've seen some consultants use just the gold dots. That's cute. You could put liquid glass over it to make it look like epoxy, but I think it just really, really looks good with those bling gems. And then I also used our new gold glitter pen to edge all of my white pieces. So the white flowers and the banner are all edged in the gold, and it looks so pretty in person, so beautiful. I've seen other people actually edge or like color some of their leaves with the gold glitter pen too, and that looks really nice as well. So again, I said I wasn't going to use those gold stickers, so instead I used a Cricut to cut out welcome in glitter, so the gold glitter paper, and then I popped it up with foam tape, and I just really like the way that looks. It's larger than the stickers that come in the kit, and it just gives it some added bling with the glitter paper, and that glitter paper is so awesome. If you haven't cut our glitter paper on the Cricut, you need to get some because it's really, really good. It cuts so nicely. So here is my wreath hanging in my kitchen, and I just wanted to share with you some of the tools that I used or the products that I used. So obviously you need the wreath kit and liquid glass at the bare minimum. I use my all-purpose mat. It's great for gluing things. It won't stick to it. I showed you the quilling tool. I didn't show you the Bonding Memories glue pen, which I use to adhere all of those little twigs. I also used Aleene's tacky glue, which you can get at any craft store. It holds a little bit differently than liquid glass does, so I used those for those rolled flowers so that I had more time with the roses. And then if you want to bling it out, you can get some of our different inks, sponge daubers. I use the microtip scissors, 3D foam tape, and the shimmer brush in gold, the piercing tool to put my gold bling gems on, the glitter paper. I use the Flower Market Cricut Collection stamps. The welcome is actually, I don't believe that's Cricut or Flower Market. It's one of our other Cricut alphabets. It might be Flower Market. I don't know. I'll have to go back and check. But I hope you like this wreath, and I hope that you'll get one and celebrate National Paper Crafting Month. And especially if you live in my area, come over to my house on the 28th. We'll put it together.